Tuesday, the 18th day of August 2020 is appointed as nomination day. The general elections for the year 2020 is therefore Thursday, September the 3rd, 2020.
Yeah, Maroon say it's now. Yeah, Maroon say it's now. Whoa, big man, you have to do better in the earth, you know, cause you don't know what the youth them a cry. Aye, big man, what you got up your sleeve? When you campaign, you spoke of our needs. No electives like you fast asleep. Ignore your promises you have made to them. You're living out there, but me and me. And whilst you will suffer for your greed. I for too long we blind, but now we can see. Don't forget to send flyer and then fly.
For all of the fools and for all of the fools, I'm gonna really check you right now. You need to go back to the basics. So I keep telling you people, stop with all these new so-called scholars because they don't have their basics down.
An angry revolution is why Israelites don't wait enough but stop burning. Why? Yo, two people like us, you will rarely learn. So why don't we pay for what you spend? You got it, but that's true, you made a mess. Then poor people, you start to pest. Hey yo, you want come like a you not then. True, we who you tell.
Michael Manley, more than anyone else since Marcus Mugabe, must be credited for raising the political consciousness of the Jamaican people and motivating them to political action. He was a man who refused to accept things as they were and was unapologetic in his pursuit of change. His concern for the welfare of Jamaica led him to an appreciation of the intricate international economic and political relationships and the way in which they impacted on Jamaica's fortune. His untiring efforts to change those relationships earned him international recognition and made him an authoritative voice in important councils around the globe.
The world of the 1970s was a world in which great powers still were of the view that small countries had no right to express independent views. Michael Manley's administration put an end to that in Jamaica. And if there are those who want to take us back there, tell them they go by themselves. We are not going with them. What Michael Manley's administration did and what we stand for, Michael Manley definitively destroyed the foundations of plantation society in Jamaica once and for all.
How does music deal with a reality? The other half that has never listened to much music.
What are we talking about today that wasn't talked about 40 years ago? Could you please inform me?
Yeah, get the news around. It's gonna happen.
All you're doing is going over the same thing over and over and over and over again. But you're supposed to be this generation that's advanced. And with your technology, you're still stuck talking about the same thing over and over and over and over again.
And all the people who go to church interpret the Bible and the preachers, that is not the right thing. Because the greatest thing is that life. See, it's life. It's life from Jesus. The preacher read the Bible and tell you that you have to die to go to heaven. Then it's not reading the Bible. Because the Bible tells you if you have to live in a heaven, you don't die and go to heaven, you have to live.
An angry revolution, an angry revolution. Blood in I city. Revolution. An angry revolution. Don't wait till the stop bubbling high.
at just 1% market share of the world would transform Jamaica to the country we all say we want to live in and yearn to live in. So, Mr. Speaker, I'm here not to criticize, but to give recommendations. Here are some recommendations on how Jamaica can actually grow through exports. Music and art. If we were to ask a question, Mr. Speaker, what has music done for Jamaica? The answers would be unending. However, if I was to ask musicians, what has Jamaica done for them? The majority, if not all, would say, not much. What have they done? They have done everything basically on their own. Recently in Kingston, I attended one of the most professionally organized and satisfying and gratifying musical performances, owned and managed by Jamaicans. Every hotel in Kingston was full. Every airline seat coming into Jamaica was booked. Mr. Speaker, if Butcher Banton was listed as an export company, his shows alone in the last month in Jamaica, Nassau, Trinidad, and Barbados would put him in the top 20 Jamaican exports. Had he been a hotel or an export manufacturing entity, he would qualify for significant incentives and waivers. Neither he nor any other artist receives these kinds of incentives. Additionally, foreign entities coming to set up for shows can bring their technology and equipment to our shores duty-free because they're taking them back out. But our producers, sound engineers, lighting technicians, digital content providers, stage managers, artists have to pay the import duties, the GCT and other charges for equipment purchased. If you understand the industry, Mr. Speaker, people aren't buying this equipment for the most part to sell it, but rather to enhance their talents and earning capacity. Whatever import tax revenue loss the country may suffer is minuscule compared to the potential earnings and pride and marketing these artists bring to Jamaica. How can we be satisfied that a potential drummer in my constituency of Southeast St. Anne or in West Rural St. Andrew can't afford the entry or the tools of trade, whether he wants to set up a makeshift studio at his house or her house and to properly develop his talents? Mr. Speaker, we have not designed this economy to properly develop and equip industry. Yet his artistry is already recognized as coming from a country that produces the world's best. So, Mr. Speaker, the technology for artist production is moving fast. A 3-year-old soundboard is almost obsolete today. And if you know what a soundboard is, I think the member from St. Catherine would know what a soundboard is. When you go into a studio and you're going to mix down the music, everything you know is computerized. So the soundboard checks everything. Those things are moving fast. The computer technology, everything. So as fast as they can bring it and do it, everything is changing. Therefore, I'm making a formal call for musicians, artists, dancers, sculptors, all artisans of the creative and entertainment industry to be seen as foreign exchange earners for Jamaica, and as such should benefit from the tax waivers and incentives on the tools of their trade. I want to reinforce our call for the amendment of the Noise Abatement Act and to lend our support for that, as well as the building of permanent concert venues.